Hi friends, here I am going to share one of my real life experiences about paranormal incident which happened in one of my friend's home. On the evening of 26 December 2023, I got a call from one of my friends. When he called me, he said me that his daughter is behaving abnormal and he thinks that the girl is possessed by some kind of entity. He asked me to come over to his home and look at the matter. Well, he gave me the address where the girl was because the girl was living at her grandmother's home. It took me around 1 hour to reach the girl's home, but by the time when I reached the home, the girl was absolutely normal. She showed no signs of possession, and there was no any other kind of possession or any other thing or any psychological disorder which we can say. The girl was absolutely fine. But before I came, the girl was actually abnormal and she was behaving like she was possessed. So this is really confusing, right? The next step, what I did was, if the girl is normal now and the possession if happened before I came, the entity which possessed the girl should be there. If not on her, the entity must be there in the house or on some other person. The girl used to live with her grandmother along with a family of total 10 to 12 persons. In India, most of the people live in a joint family, which we say joint family or a large family. Now, when I was cross-examining each and every person of that family, I found that the girl was normal now, but the girl's aunt, which was, the lady the lady which I am talking about is her uncle's wife. That lady was actually possessed 2 days back, but she showed no signs of possession. Entity which possessed that lady was like it was shifting from that lady onto that girl. So when I cross-examined and cross-checked I got to know that actually this lady was possessed and not that girl. I started exorcism on both of them because by the time when I started exorcising that lady, that girl's aunt, the entity left that girl's aunt's body and it possessed that girl. No, the girl is possessed and her aunt was absolutely normal. She showed no signs of exorcism. But in these cases, we have to exorcise both of them at the same time. So I started my ritual and started exercising both of them at the same time. First, the girl became normal. Second, her aunt became normal. But to our surprise, to the everyone's surprise who was available there at that moment, what happened was really spine chilling. It gave cold chills to everyone for that at that moment. What happened was the girl and her aunt was absolutely normal. The entity left their bodies, but all of a sudden, her grandmother, who was sitting next to that lady, started making creepy sounds of laughter. Like her laughter was so terrific. Her laughter was really creepy. I can't explain in this video, but her laughter was such that it gave really cold sweats to everyone around. Now, the total family of 10 to 12 persons and the entity is shifting from one person to other. What an exorcist has to do in this moment? First of all, the exorcist has to be strong. If the exorcist tries to give up, then the entity will try to force herself onto that exorcist also. The mental, emotional behavior of the exorcist has to be strong so that he can handle this case. In this case, her grandmother, when she started laughing, it meant that the exorcist, which in this case was myself, like it was like a challenge that you can't do anything to me. That entity was challenging me. So, in the end, apart from her grandmother, I started cross-examining each and every member of the family. So, I should get to know that any other person along with her grandmother is possessed or not. Apart from these three persons, no other person was possessed. All the other members was actually normal. There are some rituals by which we will get to know that who are possessed and who are not. In this case, only 3 members was possessed, and the possession happened 2 days back onto the aunt of that lady. And from that 2 days, that entity was forcing herself onto that girl and to her grandmother. In these 2 days, the entity possessed the girl along with her grandmother, or so total 3 persons. So it was not a new possession. After I went there, it was not that new possession. It happened, I mean, the entity was randomly possessing these three persons. In the end, with the help of other family members, first what I did was, leaving her grandmother, first I blocked the entity's entrance from onto that girl, then I blocked her entrance onto that lady. Both of them were shifted to some other room. Then I cross-examined all other members of the family and made sure that the entity should not leave this particular woman's, that is this her grandmother's body, and make a new possession, which in these cases is hard for an entity to make a possession at this time, because it takes time. The entity was not able to make new possession. Only these three victims was there. In the end, I exorcised that girl's grandmother, but it was really tough because the entity was so strong enough, and it took me around 3 hours for this ritual. I mean to say that 3 hours for exorcising these three persons. In the end, the entity gave up, and I was able to exorcise all these three persons. They became all right. All are happy now, living peacefully. No any case of possession. But the matter of sharing my paranormal activity or my real life experience is because I want other persons, the other paranormal investigators and other persons who are interested in knowing these details and who make research on these topics. I would want them. A single entity can possess multiple persons. In this case, three persons was possessed by one entity which was possessing them randomly, and it took that entity around 2 to 3 days to possess that. If people are strong enough, the entity will find it hard to make a new possession. In this case, the other persons was strong enough to resist the possession of that entity. The three persons, maybe their aura was weak, or there are many other reasons by which possessions happens. So in this case, only three victims was there. But there are cases where many entities possess many persons and makes a possession really tough. I had a real life experience about this also, but I would be sharing it on some other video. Well, that's all for today, guys. I hope you found this real life experience of me interesting and informative. Thank you. Have a nice day. We'll see you in some other video. Till then, goodbye.